Welcome back to the Kieran Cullen Football Channel or Football Club. Who knows? We still don't know. It's still so ambiguous. I change it every single time. Today I thought we would give some love to the Championship. You know, it's not always the Premier League, okay? I'm probably not going to do League 1 or 2, but, you know, I thought I'd give some love to the Championship. And we're going to go through all the home kits for the Championship this coming season. First up, Birmingham, who haven't released their kit yet. So this is a picture of Will Brazier. He is a lovely man. He's on Ben Foster's podcast and stuff quite a lot. He does stuff for Ben Foster. So, yeah, this is Will. I'll give Will a 10. He's a kind soul. Blackburn. This is really just, come on, man. Come on. What's totally wicked again? Can we find out what that is? No. It's a vape company. Fuck off. That is hilarious. They're sponsored by a vape company. How is that even allowed? Now, the sponsor sort of blends into the kit, but at the same, because it's, you know, it's the same colours and stuff, and it's like, oh, look, I'm blue and white on one side, I'm white and blue on the other. But it looks like shit. It's a macro kit. They've got a random bit of light blue. Not having that, mate. Really not having that. And then just says Blackburn Rovers all over the kit. Well, or Rovers FC. Just says Rovers FC on one side a bunch of times. This is dog shite. I'm going to give this a 1. Yeah, it's actually a 0. Because the totally wicked sponsor is you can't be walking about with that. That is honking, my friend. Bristol City. Oh, hang on. O'Neill's. Is this Gaelic football? Like, what is this? Is this rugby? Is this bloody ruggers, is it? No. I'm not having that. That is... which is frustrating because the rest of the kit is glorious. You know, it's a pretty good, strong kit for Bristol City. I'm sure it's a classic that everyone will love. Pinstripes, bit iffy, but, you know, at least they got double pinstripes, which sort of then creates one red pinstripe. Can you have a red pinstripe on a red t-shirt? I don't know, but apparently you can. Sponsor is a bit odd, Habu, but it blends in well, so that's absolutely fine. I'm going to give this a 8.8. I've given an O'Neill's kit an 8.8. Figure that one out, boys. But, you know, it's simple and effective, yet still interesting. Cardiff. Now, do I want to visit Malaysia? No, the font is not convincing me. Very plain. This is... they've tried to do something. It's not terrible. It's probably not a classic, but it's not offensive. I'm going to go for I'll go for a 7.5. I think there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just not fascinating me. But I think it's okay. It's a perfectly fine bit of graphic design. But maybe Visit Malaysia could maybe spruce up their offering. Because I don't know about you, but just like Arial font, it's not evoking much emotion at me to Visit Malaysia, who I'm sure probably have lots of impressive bits of culture and not this font. Coventry City up next, and they're an interesting blue. They got, you know, a unique kit. It's like, well, it's stripy. It's a double stripe blue. I'm not seeing this very often. And it's got a dark line, but then it says King of fucking Shaves in it. King of Shaves. How far do you expect to get in these rankings if your sponsor is King of Shaves? Not even that. It's King of Shave S. Now, I think Coventry have a pretty cool badge, but it does sort of look like they're an elephant and castle with the elephant on the castle at the top. It's a bit odd. However, I'm gonna have to give this kit, it's a 3. You know, it's not good. I reckon if you support Coventry, you'll probably still buy this one, which gives it a 3. But King of Shaves. I can't be walking about with King of Shaves on my chest. And then, to be fair, the rest of it, what's the graphic in the middle? Is it like ice? What are we trying to do there? You've already got stripes. You don't need to throw in a weird graphic, sort of just pasted over the top. No, free. Huddersfield. I've never been to Huddersfield, but I've been through it on the train. And the best thing about Huddersfield is that you don't have to get off the train. If you go through it, you can just never go to Huddersfield. This is an alright kit. Now, they've also got stripes with a weird graphic in the middle, but this one feels, I guess, a bit more tailored, a bit more specific rather than random, although the pattern is random, but the placement feels less abrasive to my eyeballs. Now, obviously, they've gone with a gold trim on everything, which is always fantastic. That's what you want. Is this an old badge? Did they go back to an old badge? They did. I swear they had a different badge. An energy sponsor. That feels pretty bog standard for lower league championship. I think an energy sponsor is a good one to have because people need to power their homes. All right. Because if you don't, nothing works. It turns out. You need energy. It's news to me. It really is. I haven't turned the lights on in 4 years. And now my garden's thriving. I think it's a pretty solid kit, but I think what bothers me is they haven't continued the pattern on the blue stripe on the sleeves. So it sort of feels disconnected in that they've just pasted some sort of material over the top of the shoulders. I'm going to give it a 6. All right, I think it's fine. But if you're a Huddersfield fan, you'll probably buy it and be like, ooh. All City. Hull. Now, Corendon Airlines, which airlines is the word I forgot in the previous video. Thank you, everyone, for finding that out for me. But I just lost my mind. This is sort of good and sort of bad. The sponsor's really killing me. And the Hull City badge really is fucking dog shit. Just absolutely dog shit. But if I try to ignore those 2 items, which are pretty integral to the kit, the rest of the kit's quite fine. It's like an orange Betis. I think the black and orange stripes in this one are sort of working well, and with the little I think the Kappa works as a sponsor on this one. I think they had Umbro for ages. I think it became a bit tiresome. But the Corendon Airlines sponsor looks terrible. Really quite bad. I'm going to give this a 4. I'm sorry, Hull City. You've been done dirty by the sponsor and your own badge, mate. I'm sorry, but it stinks, mate. That's what they do, don't they? You're like, oh, we're gonna fucking eat you, mate, because we're tigers. Ipswich. Now, this is what I adapted to turn into my preferred Burnley kit. It's the same template as the Huddersfield one we just had, just obviously without the stripes. They've gone for a random little pattern. I like it. Now, it doesn't feel particularly Ipswich. There's way too much white on the shoulders for Ipswich. However, I think it's probably a nice change. I fucking hate Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is just shit. But he's like a nice person. It's like Lewis Capaldi. It's like, oh, I quite like you. You seem like a cool... You make what music? I don't want to listen to that. That doesn't match what I feel about your personality. That is... Oh. I'm going to give this I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to be positive about Ipswich, all right? I think Ipswich have a phenomenal badge. It's a horse playing ball inside a castle. What's not to love? I think red, blue, and white is a pretty strong colour scheme as well. Japan, France, Ipswich. Leeds United. Now, I've seen a lot of love for this kit online, okay? A lot of Leeds fans loving it. A lot of people loving it, and rightly so. Right, it's bog standard because obviously a white t-shirt, but they've put in like a little peacock motif, little shiny subtle peacock motif inside the shirt. Wonderful. It'll be great to look at when they're not walking the league because they've somehow lost £130 million worth of playing staff and recouped about 3 million. So that is embarrassing, isn't it? But they do have Ethan Ampadu, so maybe they will walk the league. Oh, he's just good, isn't he? Box sponsor. I don't know what Boxed is. I hope it's a removal company because that would be funny. But that blends in nicely with the kit, and it's not a betting sponsor, which is all very well and nice. Adidas stripes in the other 3 Leeds color, in the other 2 Leeds colors. Sorry, it's a pretty solid one. I'm going to give this a 8.9. I'll give it a 9. I'll round up. You get a 9, Leeds. Leicester City, which feels odd to be like, oh, this is a championship team now. They still feel like a championship team immediately. I've gone full the other way now. Fuck them. I don't like the collar. The collar on people, I've seen this on actual people in photos, and the collar's it feels a bit too big and loose. Should once again be a round neck. But apart from that, the bit of gold trim around the sides matches a little gold in the King Power. Do I like it? I don't know. It feels like I should. I feel like if you put a little shiny all emblem inside your kit, then I feel like it's a guaranteed like, hey! But there's something about this one that which just feels a bit naff to me. But it's sort of decent all round. I'll give it an 8. I think if you're a Leicester fan, you will buy this one. Middlesbrough. Now. When I was compiling this, I was like, whoa, who's this bad geldem? I oddly like this one. I don't think people will, but I really do like it. I think there's something about the navy. It feels very, fresh and new. A bit like the PSG one, which I criticised for not looking real. This one looks a bit more noughties and potentially real, probably because it is made by Era. So that would make me believe they would do something like this. Whereas if Nike do like a gradient stuff, I'm like, mate, come on, this is not you. You are prestige. I'm going to give this a 9.5. I think if you're a Middlesbrough fan, I think it's a nice change. I love it. I think this is great, and this is going to really annoy people. I know they're going to be like, oh, Kieran, you're wrong. You're so wrong. Why don't you ever do your hair before you record these videos? But I'm not. That's the issue here. I just never am. Millwall Husky Chocolate. Chocolate made out of dogs is a very controversial sponsor, but apart from that, it's quite a nice font. Block, lovely, a bit like chocolate. Blocklet, nom nom. Era again. I'm sort of coming into these Era kits. I sort of like them, It might be a brand that I might be positive about. Neckline, nice, thick, nice. It slightly goes into a light blue in the weird shooting stars. So is there a lot of shooting stars over Millwall? I don't think there is. It's usually just a sort of a feeling of racism. I don't know if anyone's been to Millwall, please let me know if it's racist still. Never been. If it is, cut that out. I'm gonna give this kit it's a good one. I think it's a good one. I'm gonna give it a 7.8. I don't know what it is about the Millwall blue, but it just looks a bit crap. It's just not very like, oh wow, this is a strong identity. It's like, oh, what's your favorite color? Really a blue that's so desaturated. It's not quite grey and it's not quite black. And well, they wouldn't have a black kit, would they? Norwich up next, and this is a bit controversial. And there's some Norwich fans who don't like it. They don't like this weird, very intense stripy change. Whereas I'm sort of sitting here, and Lotus, that's a pretty cool sponsor. That's a car that goes zoom zoom. And apart from that, this is like a buy-in kit, all right, made by Joma. So be happy with what you're given. You've got a man here, Ashley Barnes, who will score about 3 goals, but he'll look all right doing it. I think it's quite a nice kit. I'm going to give it a 8. Mate, I'm on fire today. Flames in the chat, please, my friend. Flames! That's not Preston. Plymouth. Pie Faces team. But does he utilise the works of Bond Timber? I would, if I was from Plymouth. If I was making an old pirate ship to go attack people, because that's what I assume they do in Plymouth still these days. Why do you go to Plymouth? Insane. Really is quite insane. Just too far away, mate. Can't be arsed. It's clean. And I know this is going to... It's like, oh, green and gold. I bloody love it. But I don't know. I don't think that's an automatic, above a 7. I think it's all right, but I don't know what it is. It's just not interesting enough, and I feel like we're in the era of you got to have some sort of interesting about you, mate. You can't just be putting slapping a gold trim and a colour and stuff and being like, yes, bosh, easy 9 from Kieran. It's just not happening. It's just not happening, mate. But it's not bad, and I'll take into consideration it's a championship, and a lot of these are dog shit, and you are hamstrung by a terrible sponsor. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. You get an 8, but you're lucky. Preston with a Castor kit. Now, I've had my bugbears with Castor. I really have. It's been a tough time with them. just seeing them with my own eyes. But this season, I don't know. I like the Sevilla kit, and now we're sitting here looking at this Preston kit, whose badge, by the way, is terrible. It says PP on it. Really? PP? What's the away kit? Poo poo? No, that's terrible. What the fuck? I'm gonna give this Castor kit a 9.8. I think it all fits perfectly. The Par Group, what is that? I don't care what it is, because it's not a betting sponsor by the looks of it, and it's not anything. It's just like, oh, we blend in with the kit, mate. Job done. We're not offensive, and it all blends in. And the subtle, if it was just a white t-shirt, maybe less, but the subtle stripes, I'm quite liking it. And I think the most important thing, what Castor have done, is they've removed any dog shit random lines they put anywhere, or just a random block on the shoulders, like they endlessly did with Wolves kits recently. Honking. They've just gone, oh, normal taper, and with another subtle line in it. Beautiful. I think we're going to get some very high ratings for Castor kits. QPR. Now, when I was putting these on, when I was like, oh, who's the next team I need to look up? QPR. I was like, I really hope they've not just gone white and blue and they've incorporated the red back into their kit. Oh, yes. I like this. I very much like this. It's a bit different. Once again, we got the red, we got the blue, we got the white colour scheme. It's a good colour scheme. And I like this. I think it works well with the hoops. I like that the era badge and the QPR badge are in red. People probably don't like it, but I'm sorry, I'm not a QPR fan, so joke's on you. The fun is on me. And the sleeves with the little, it's very French. Very French. I like it. I'm going to give it a bon appetit, which also translates to a 9.8. I love it. I think it's great. Rotherham. Fucking hell. Four, maybe. No, it's not even a 4, mate. Really? Rotherham Hospice. Yeah, it's an appropriate sponsor because I need end-of-life care now that I've witnessed this kit with my own eyes. I'll give it a 2. It stinks, mate. Collar's shit. Print over the whole middle bit's shit. The shape of it's shit. I'm sorry, Rotherham. I think you deserve better than this. Sheffield Wednesday. Now, this looks like a terrible Colchester United kit, but it's for Sheffield Wednesday, and I feel like they're probably a bit of a more prestige club. Macron toilet, stripes within stripes, 90% of the time, absolutely toilet. Random triangle at the top with a weird cutout collar thing, toilet. The sponsor, the blue isn't the same, the white isn't the same by the looks of it, and it's A up. I know you're Yorkshire, but A up. You can't be doing that. You can't have A up as your sponsor. What is that? Do they sell those farmers flat caps? Is that what they do? That's not okay. It doesn't blend well. It's really terrible. It looks like a cow pat. I'm gonna give this one I'm gonna give it a 1. I don't want to see this ever again in my life. Southampton, the boys. Now, sportsbet.io have, I believe, finally integrated their sponsor colourwise. I feel like they used to not do that. I might be wrong. But I believe it's finally integrated. And some people don't like this template. Okay, it's a rehash of an old template from the 80s or so. I think Aston Villa might have had it. I think it's a nice change for Southampton. They tend to change up the stripes quite often. I think this works, and I think we'll see James Ward-Prowse playing in it because apparently no one wants to buy him, which is surprising but also not surprising. I feel like he sort of hamstrung himself by being good at free kicks because apart from that, I don't know what I'm getting. I'm sure he's good at other stuff. He must be. But ultimately, I don't know because he's just really good at free kicks. I'm going to give this one a 8.5. Probably one of the best Southampton have had in a while because they had a long, stinky period. Proper stinky. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.5. It's all right. Stoke City. Stripage, pretty good stripage width. Badge in black and white. Sponsor in black and white. Manufacturer in black and white. Yeah, it sort of works. It works. I prefer it when they have the blue. I'll give it a 7.8. I think it's strong. Right, I don't think it's terribly bad. I think it all sort of works. I'll give it a 7.9. All right. Are you happy with that, Stokies? The old Stokey boys. Sunderland up next, and they didn't have a normal product image of their shirt. They only had this picture of a bloke and a lady wearing the shirt, and you get bonus points because there's someone with boobs wearing a football shirt, and that is important if you're selling football shirts to grown men, because they're all perverts. It's all right. It's an all right kit. I don't know about the Nike doing it recently. The whole block over the top, I don't know about it. I feel like there's too much white on this Sunderland kit for me. The rest of it blends in well, but I feel like Sunderland need to be a bit more stripier. You know? It doesn't feel too Sunderland to me. I'm going to give this I'll give it a 7.5. I don't think it's horrific, but I think if you're a Sunderland fan, you'll be like, oh, why have they done that with the sleeves again? Swansea City up next. And they've returned to their badge, the previous badge, which I think was like a redo of a throwback one. Stank. It was so honking. Hated it. It just, I don't know. Oh, God, horrible. This one, they've centralised it. I'm very much focused on the Reviver coffee. The font for the word coffee is really just terrible. Where's the emotion in that? That is really bad. That is odd. I don't think this picture's doing it justice. Here's a picture with one of the players wearing it. I'm going to give it a... you know what? No, if the sleeves are white, I think that's all right. I'm going to give it a 6.5. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's ugly. I think if you're a Swansea fan, I reckon you probably still buy this one this year. But I don't think it's an all-timer. But I don't think it's horrific. 6.5, that's okay. Watford. The team that I notoriously hate the colour scheme of. However, the only red I'm seeing on this kit is in the badge. The only tertiary colour in the whole kit is in the badge. It's just two colours. And then you can have the white, because that's fine. That's just like another neutral colour. But it's just two colours. Apart from the bloody badge. But it's the worst fucking graphic ever. I hate these nonsense, like, diagonal and then like, oh, just loads of fucking lines everywhere, because that's cool, isn't it? Is it? It looks awful. Why would you do that? You decided to commit to not having the stupid honking bit of red in it, and you've done that. Why would you do that? And what is MrQ.com? What is that? Let's find out what that is. Oh, it's betting again. Mr. Q. Online casino. Let's look at the Trustpilot reviews. 3.9. See, I am not convinced. 18% 1 star. It's a joke, really. It doesn't matter how much you put on. You never make even a win higher than what you deposit. No point in telling customers it's a bad run. Unless I had 16 bad runs in a row and lost 1,000 without... Jesus Christ. See, I am convinced that, you know, people are like, oh, these Man City sponsors are, or it's actually like fake or whatever, and then but there'll be other sponsors and whatever. Leeds are sponsored by Wish, notoriously crap product, cheap, naff, doesn't work, just rip off like copyright infringement products ever, just fake products. Sponsored a Premier League club. I'm convinced Premier League clubs, they don't. I do more due diligence on bloody brand deals. They literally, clubs will accept any money. They do not care about what name is on their shirt. It's insanity. It's so odd. I just can't get my head around it. Like, how can you have that as a sponsor, and it just turns out you're just, all the people who see it might use it, and then it's like, I don't know, it fucks me off. Like, how can you push something that's just like a bad service? Like, fucking joke. Fuck off, Watford. Sorry. Not the fans, just what I'm annoyed now. I'm gonna give it a 1. Fuck off. West Bromwich Albion is our final kit. Now the stripes, they're going well. Actually, no, wait, they're not going well. Why is the white stripe bigger than the other stripe? Why are they not even stripes? If they were even stripes, you wouldn't have the last final stripe being cut off. Oh, why have you done that? Oh, and there's too many colours in here. Okay, you got the green and red in the badge, that's fine, but that means the rest of the kit has to be just white and navy. But then the ideal heating, which is just painfully stuck on, has a little bit of green in it, which isn't the same green there. And then I don't think the blue's the same. And then there's a little bit of sky blue down here. I think, you just need a new sponsor. The sponsor's killing me. Ideal Heating. Oh, mate. I do like the big boiler mascot, though. That is absolutely hilarious. The design language here it's struggling big time. I'm going to give it a 3. It's not great. It's really poor. I've been your boy Kieran. This has been CCFC. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Let's try and get to 20,000 subscribers before the Premier League season starts. We're like 1.5 away roundabout. And I will see you in the next one. Booyakasha, bitch.